Now, let's have a little look at a bit of it. Here's a grab from episode 2, which Meghan when it shows Meghan at her, most adorable. Let's have a look.
Even when Will and Kate came over and I had met her for the first time they came over for dinner, I remember I was in ripped jeans and I was barefoot. It's like I was a hugger. I've always been a hugger. I didn't realize that is really jarring for a lot of Brits. I guess I'd started to understand very quickly that the formality on the outside carried through on the inside. That there is a forward-facing way of being. And then you close the door and you go, oh, great. Okay, we can relax now.
So, this is the high drama in Meghan's life. Do you feel desperately sorry for her as she struggles with all the demands of being a royal, Esther?
Yeah. She was barefoot in ripped jeans. First of all, why are you walking around your house barefoot? That just tells me you're dirty. Like, put on some slippers, ma'am. It doesn't make you normal. It just makes you very, very lax about your hygiene. And secondly, it's just, this is someone that you don't know. I know that not everyone is really open to just hugging. I don't really want to be shaking people I don't know's hands in public. I just do it because it's a formality. I just don't. What is the point of what she's saying? Is she just saying that Brits are so stuck up that she had to, kind of rein her impulses in and try and be more formal? I just think, why is this something that needs to be said? I wouldn't go up to the Queen and like high five her or say Wagwan blood. Like, it's just random and weird and completely pointless. I don't really understand the point she's making, but it's the usual, I'm so normal, I didn't know what I was getting into, marrying into the most popular, famous family and institution in the world, and woe is me, here is my $100 million Netflix documentary to then talk about it.
It is extraordinary that they think that, that somehow they have suffered at the hands. There's been some pain involved. What about Harry's reference to his wife being like his mother, the late Princess Diana? You and I have discussed that before. What do you think the royal family will be making of all that?
I mean, I think it's a complete insult. I think one of the differences, and I'm sure Harry and Meghan don't know this because they're completely stuck in their own self-absorbed bubble, is that Princess Diana turned a very negative situation where, she suffered infidelity in her own marriage and all the negative media attention. She turned it into something positive. She directed her energy towards positive causes. She wasn't interested in exploiting herself and her life and all the sort of woe is me tales, which she actually could have done, and people would have really related to her because that's a horrible thing to go through. And then on the flip side, you have Meghan and Harry that don't really stand for anything. The only duty that they know is to themselves. It's all about self-promotion and self-aggrandizing. And I think to draw parallels between them and the good work that Princess Diana did is completely ridiculous. And that's pretty much why they have such a negative public reputation, is because we can't connect with them because they're all about themselves, right? And even if they try to promote good causes, they would somehow find a way to make it about themselves. And that's what's really off-putting. And that's the stark difference between them and the royals. The royals are all about, self-sacrifice and duty and service to others, and they're just about service to themselves. And so I think to draw a parallel between, Meghan and Harry and Princess Diana is completely ridiculous.
Let's just have another quick look at another grab from this while we're here. We may as well.
Are you harming your family, Harry?
Harry, are you putting money before family? Are you putting money before family?
Oh, the rock star treatment, being hard-hitting questions. It looks like they have a dreadful life. I don't know how they coped, Esther. I mean, what would you do in Meghan's shoes? Would you find it so appalling that you'd have to turn on your in-laws in the way that she has?
I mean, I would level more of the blame at Prince Harry, because at the end of the day, sort of the royal family is not Meghan's family. She didn't grow up with them. I mean, looking at sort of her own relationship with her family, I don't think it's surprising that she's found it easier to distance herself from her in-laws and ostracize herself in this way. But it's more Prince Harry, because this is the family that you grew up with. This is the only family that you've known. And the Sky News reporter asked perfectly, are you putting money before family? And he's objectively doing that, because at the end of the day, blood is thicker than water. And even though we see the sort of media circus that is the royal family, at the core of it, it's still a family, and there's still people at the heart of it, and there's still relationships that need to be maintained. And to sacrifice all of that, which is what it looks like he's doing for the fame and money and sort of the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, it's soulless. And at the end of the day, one day you will need your family, and you would have ostracized a lot of them because you were in sort of a shameless pursuit of fame and money.
So, Esther, how are the Brits taking to this now? I mean, is this the final straw? We saw in the trailer kind of Prince William and Kate looking kind of daggers. It was all sort of as if there was some huge family feud and that was being beaten up. How are the British public responding? Are they bored with it now? Are they fed up? Or are they getting angry?
Well, I think we do recognise that obviously as a Netflix documentary, it is dramatised, and Meghan and Harry are doing their best to sort of feed into that drama machine. Whether they think it's in their best interest in terms of PR and sort of their public image, that's on to them. The British public are genuinely kind of apathetic about this. We know that the royal family has endured worse, from Prince Andrew to, you know, the Queen's annus horribilis in the early 1990s. So, you know, there have been moments of utter turmoil in the royal family, and they've still sustained, they've still been maintained as a family today. So we just think this will blow over. We just want them to get it all over with. Harry's book to come out, them to get milk as many deals as they can from peddling the royal family's name, and then eventually it'll blow over because they'll have nothing else to offer, because they're not really people of repute or of any sort of standing, really.
Well, on to something more serious. So, Rishi Sunak is giving our Prime Minister a run for his money on bad energy policy he's planning to increase exports of American gas at the same time that he's banning fracking in the UK. So you're importing the gas, but you're not drilling it here. How does this magically solve the planet's climate woes that the Brits seem so concerned about? Isn't it slightly illogical?
Yep. It is the cognitive dissonance of the ruling elite, which is not foreign to the ruling elite in the EU as well. They were happy to import cheap Russian gas whilst, diminishing their own gas production facilities and capacities at home. What does worry me about this, other than the fact that it just adds to the continuous mismanagement of this country's energy policy, which dates back to well over a decade, is the fact that you are happy to ban fracking here for no reason, right? It's not like there was a massive movement to ban fracking. You know, they said that they would allow fracking if it had community support, which was unlikely anyway. So to go the step further to then ban it is really making a statement. But now you're ordering 10 billion cubic meters of gas from the US.
Insane.
And it's just insane. But it's also that, I mean, the Conservatives kind of lose themselves in this debate. But it's important to point out how much will this cost, right? Because if you're ordering that set amount, you know, commodity prices move up and down. The supply in the US gas is so inconsistent, and because of Biden's policy to actually suppress the production of oil and gas and to limit new licenses being issued, it just means that the price is going to be pushed up. And because we've actually guaranteed this set amount of gas, we're going to be paying a higher premium because the supply will be inconsistent. And that's something that many people in the industry have recognized. So we're actually paying a much bigger premium for gas that we should have been, you know, fracking on our own territory over a decade ago. And this is why the EU hasn't yet done that. They're looking for gas in different parts of the world, like Algeria. Biden himself is lifting restrictions and sanctions on Venezuela, Esther, which is a lovely dictatorship.
I got to jump in there, Esther. We've run out of time. I'm sorry about that. Well, I want to continue this discussion because you are right on top. You are so good on this topic. We'll chat next week. Thanks so much for coming on this evening.